this is my testimonial. I purchased the Energy Repair, Protection, and Enhancement. To completely understand how much it's helped us in the last week, I'd have to give you the backstory on what has been happening with my family over the last couple of years. The major reason I picked this service was for my oldest daughter, and you'll see why in a minute. First, let me explain. We are a family of 4. I'm Roseanne. We live in Louisiana, and it's actually like 35 degrees this morning, so the fireplace is actually on for once. I have my fiance. I've been with him for 8 years. He's 33. I'm 39. We have a 6-year-old daughter together, and then I have a 10-year-old with my ex-husband. And excuse my dog's clacking nails. I have a 10-year-old with my ex-husband, who I was married to for, I think, almost 11 years. Anyway, so there was a big shift in our lives a few years ago. I think it's been 4 years, maybe 5 now. So much has been going on, I really can't even keep track. So I'll start off when my grandfather died. It wasn't completely expected, but not completely unexpected. So I took it way harder than I thought I would. You know, look, that's my dog Molly. She's gonna get up in everybody's business. Anyway, so I took his death way harder than I thought I would. From there, I want to say he died at that December. It was rough that year. I kind of got into a slump and a little bit of depression. Come sit, Mom. Come on. Come sit down. And, you know, my grandmother, his wife, started having heart problems. So she was in and out of the hospital too. Then, you know, in between that, we got hit by 2 hurricanes 3 weeks apart. Hurricane Laura, most of y'all probably saw it on the news. It did some damage. We were without electricity for 52 days. It twisted our roof. My neighbor's house was completely gone. I mean, like, we stayed for it, and it looked like a bomb had gone off. And we stayed the whole time after it. We never left. So, like, our brick walls had to be redone. Our vehicles got totaled out. I mean, it was the biggest mess, fighting with insurances and things like that. So let's say that happened. The first hurricane was August 27th. By October, my grandmother had passed, the wife to this grandfather. She had told us she was ready to go. We were all allowed to go tell her goodbye in the hospital, and she got the next day, ate her breakfast, and passed away. I took that really hard because her and I were really close. That was in October. Then the following December, my dad caught COVID and ended up in the hospital in a coma for 8 weeks. They really didn't think he was going to make it, but he pulled through and started doing better. In June, my dad was still in the hospital, going to rehabs, and he had lost all function. He was paralyzed from the neck down, and they were doing a lot of therapy for him. In June, on a Friday night, my fiance got a call that his mom passed away. 63. We didn't even know she was having any kind of problems. They just found her. She cleaned houses, and they found her in one of the houses she was cleaning. So we packed up and we drove to Colorado to deal with her funeral and that kind of thing. And my fiance, really the only family he has was his mom. He's not real close to his dad. They were split, you know, divorced, and you know how that's a trauma all in itself. Of course, my parents are divorced too. So there's a lot of childhood issues there. Anyway, so we're in Colorado, and I get a phone call 4 days later after his mom passed in Colorado that my dad started bleeding out. They actually called me from the ER, a priest did, and asked me if I was okay with giving my dad the last rites, and I said sure, and I could hear them giving him CPR. And I knew it was over. So I took my dad's death really, really hard. And I'm still trying to process that. I have a lot of guilt and anxiety over that. So with all these deaths, we're still trying to deal with, our house and issues. So we moved into my dad's house, which is 30 minutes from our house, so we could repair our house, strip all the sheetrock and everything out of there. I moved my kids to my dad's. I enrolled them to school over here. And it's been hard. It was a lot. I felt like there was just like this little black cloud that followed us everywhere. I kept waiting for a phone call that someone was going to pass. Because not only my dad and my grandma and my fiance's mom, we lost 5 other close family and friend members within that time period. But I'm only pointing out these because they seem to be the ones that I think affected us the most. Okay, not only did my dad pass, right? And then my uncle filed all kind of paperwork to try and take me, I have 2 sisters, inheritance. He wanted control of all my dad's money and assets, and it got to the point where it really put a strain between me and my sisters. And me and my older sister had to get a lawyer, and we've been dealing with going to court and just trying to get that settled. So the stress has not stopped. On my fiance's side of things, while I'm dealing with lawyer and court and just trying to grieve, my fiance's trying to get his house remodeled. He gets screwed out of tens of thousands of dollars by contractors. They would show up, do half job, leave. It's been the biggest mess. So my fiance is one of those people who his money, he's a tourist, so his money is always on point. He's always had a good job. He likes the finer things in life. He's not stuck up about it, but he just likes what he likes. And his financial stability really took a turn once his mom passed. Everything just went downhill. I don't think this man's ever been in debt in his life. And now he's in debt because he's had to pull out all these loans and stuff for his house. His job, that's always been really financially stable and made good money, all of a sudden, he's a contractor for a cable company. There's not a whole lot of work. So he's basically not working for months on end. So that's a tad another thing that was going on. So this past September, I get a phone call. My ex-husband passed away, the father of my 10-year-old. And she's the one I did this for, that I bought this for. Because she was having nightmares. She'd wake up in the middle of the night screaming. My ex-husband was 51. My dad, by the way, was 61 when he passed away. So these are not like old people. Like my grandparents, they were in their 80s. You kind of know the end's coming. But these other, not so much. And he had a stroke. It took 5 days to find him, believe it or not. He was renting a room out with some people, and obviously they just did not smell him. I don't understand it, but whatever. I can't change the circumstances. So anyway, my 10-year-old is having nightmares, horrible panic attacks, anxiety. She thinks she's going to die. She really believes, and it's not her being like a drama queen, she thinks something's going to happen and she's just going to drop dead. And it could be anything. One day she thinks she's going to get diabetes. One day she thinks she's going to get cancer. One day she had a mosquito bite, kind of got infected. She thought she was going to have a heart attack from it. The infection was going to kill her. I mean, it breaks my heart. My other daughter, my 6-year-old, who was always a happy child, cries all the time about everything. And she doesn't know why. She's not in pain. And I really chalk it up to she feels my depression. She feels the stress in the house. And I think her heart's broken for her sister who lost her dad. You know, she asks the questions. And she understands. You know, she's old enough to understand death now. So, it's just been a whole lot. So, I had ordered, like I said, the Energy Repair, Protection, and Enhancement. I got the email on January 11th that it was done. The amazing thing is I think I had ordered it the week before. And January 11th, all day long, I felt tingly. And I told myself, I said, I bet they're doing the enhancement stuff today. You know, I just felt it. And then it was later that night, I was like, yeah, you know, I got the email. And I was I'm like so excited about it. I forgot to mention myself earlier. I've been having anxiety. I have put on 40 pounds since my dad passed. Like, I'm totally eating my feelings and I'm out of control. In June, my pancreas, my liver, and a kidney shut down. Nobody can tell me why. And since then, I've had just weird, I've been tested for every disease known to man, HIV, AIDS, even diseases out of this country. Because of some of the things that are going on, they can't tell me what's going on. And I really chalk it up to the stress. And probably my horrible eating habits. Anyway, back to the day I had the service done. That night, I slept so good. I don't think I've slept that good in 15 years. Literally 15 years. The next day, my fiance calls me and says he was offered a job that he was hoping for, and he will make a lot more money than what he was making with the current contract he was working for. So I know, and I could tell in his voice, there was a sense of relief that he could finally breathe. Like he could see a light at the end of the tunnel. I got a text message from my younger sister, turned 21 on Saturday. So this would have been Wednesday morning, I believe, because it was Tuesday, the 11th, I believe, that I got the email. And we really haven't talked other than, you know, Merry Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving, since all this court stuff started with my uncle. It's really strained our relationship. Anyway, she was turning 21 on Saturday, and she invited me and my fiance out to eat dinner with a bunch of her friends and family. And after that, she was so excited she went and got her driver's license so she could get into the casino. We have, I don't know, like 5 casinos right here in this area, and she just wanted to go casino hop. She didn't even want to gamble. She just wanted to be able to get in. So, normally I would make an excuse not to go. Like, I'm so down. I feel so down about myself. I'm embarrassed about the way I look. Not only that, I feel horrible. Because I've been just so sick. Like, my bones hurt. I feel like my bone marrow is on fire half the time. So I normally would have made an excuse not to go. But somehow it worked out that I got a sitter. We went to the dinner, and I actually only expected to go to the dinner and then be feeling too bad and having to come home. But we ended up going casino hopping with her till 5:30 in the morning. And I had the best time. I was not stressed. since this service, I have felt so light. I feel like I've lost 100 pounds, even though I haven't. But I did not realize how much I was carrying around. And I was drowning, and I didn't know how to make it better or how to get it off of me. The stress and the grief and the guilt that I felt over some things, which today, obviously, I'm processing through because I haven't cried since today I guess I'm just more emotional having to talk about it. I can't even say thank you enough for this service, for everybody who's a part of it, the Divine team, Miss Elise. There will never be enough thanks. The difference is my youngest now has stopped crying every day. She comes in from school and it's, Mom, I love you. Can I have a hug? And she's drawn me pictures. I have stacks and stacks of pictures. She's at peace and she's happy. She's smiling and laughing. My girls are laughing and giggling together, which I have not seen in an awfully long time. They still fight, but siblings, especially at 6 and 10. So my oldest daughter has not had a nightmare. Her anxiety has gotten so much better. Oh my gosh, I almost can't even describe it. She has not complained about stomach ache. She has not asked me, today, she hit her knee. Is it going to kill her somehow? Or she's going to die? And I know it's not all going to fix everything within a week. I'm just telling you what's happened so far to us in this week. She seems more at peace with her dad's death. She's a lot calmer. I caught her dancing yesterday. My child was dancing. And I know that seems like a small thing, but she was giggling and dancing. So thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I so look forward to the next 6 months. I feel like I have finally gotten out of this hole. I have a peace. My kids have peace. My fiance has a peace about him now. I actually finally feel like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It had gotten so bad, I couldn't see any happiness for the future whatsoever. Not only that, the fact that y'all protected my dad's house, which is where we're living now, and his property. I feel like my uncle can't touch it. He can't soil it. He can't take away what belongs to me and my sisters. And that has really been stressing me out, every day, to the point where I almost can't move. I was so stressed out, I could not move. I constantly felt like I was going to get a phone call with some more devastating news. And I don't have that feeling anymore. So Miss Elise, Eric, and the whole Divine team, thank y'all. Thank you so much. If you ever need anything from me, contact me. Whatever. If you need me to talk, tell more people, because I will, I promise you. I did not tell my family I bought this and that I was doing this because I didn't want them to have some kind of mental hang up or block about it. I told my best friend, and I told her just to watch and note down the differences. So I'm hoping in 6 months I could do a 6-month update. and let y'all know how things are going and how much our life has changed. Because if it's anything, even if it's 20% of what we've experienced this last 7 days, it was well worth the money. And also for you people who were worried about money, I did not realize until I went to check out, there are payment plans. That was one of the reasons I think I held off, because I first saw this. I've been watching Channeling Eric for probably about 4 or 5 years now. At least a solid 3. My sense of time's really whack. But this kept showing up. The Scalar Energy kept showing up in my news feed. And I really felt called. Like something was pushing me to buy this. And I come from a strong, like, Christian background. You know, mediums are evil, gambling's evil, sex is a sin. I mean, like, really strict. So I had to come way out of my boundaries, and my beliefs have changed a lot. And out of my norm, basically, is what I'm saying, to do this. And I am so very glad I did. Like I was saying, though, the payment plans, you know, I think if you could, Miss Elise, do a video about that. Let people know, because I do think that's going to be a big hang up. I think one of them was $57 a month for 7 months. One of them was through PayPal, was $100 a month or $200 a month, instead of just having to pay it all at one time. Because, you know, we have lives and inflation and everything. I have no problem paying whatever. I would have paid 3 times as much for this, as long as I'd have known, you know, there was a payment plan. So again, this was my experience. And if for 1 second you look at this and actually made it through the 23 minutes I've been rattling on, and you feel even the tiniest bit called to buy this, please do. Please do, because I promise you it will be worth it. So again, thank you.